All right, what is going on, guys? Josh here from N and J. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a moto vlog on my 2022 Aprilia Tuono V4. Only made a couple videos on this bike, so I figured today a good way to test out the motovlog setup is kind of do a review similar to what Nick did on his motovlog with the Ducati, and just kind of talk about the bike a little bit, what I like, what I don't like, which the things I don't like are very slim. That list is very small, so I'm going to change a setting real quick once we get up to this stop sign, and we'll get the motovlog going. Oh shit, that's not good. Put that phone back in my pocket. So anyways, this is my 2022 Aprilia Tuono V4. As you can tell, this bike is fast. This is right up there in the super naked category with things like the V4, the Ducati V4 I should say, the Triumph Triple Speed, the Ducati, check that, sorry, the KTM Super Duke, and other bikes like that. It's 1100 cc's, just under, I think it's like 1077, but 1100 is easier to say. Bike has 175 horsepower, that's what the factory says. I'm sure that is to the crank, so probably like 150 brake or so, somewhere in there. Needless to say, it's fast, and it's honestly more horsepower than you really need on a bike, but it's nice to have when you want it or when you need it. Depends on how you look at it. As far as the bike itself, it's pretty stock. It's also a little dirty. I need to clean it. It's been neglected a little bit. I was on vacation up in the UP of Michigan, so didn't get to ride it a whole lot the last couple weeks. But that being said, everything's stock except the mirrors. There's some Amazon bar ends I got on it. The other one stuck up like fucking deer antlers, and I didn't like it. Other than that, though, everything's stock. I also added a ram mount, which is now broken, so fucking awesome. That being said, just daily riding this bike, it's a big change from what I had before. My last bike was a Indian Chieftain, big bagger, 800-pound bike, stereo, touchscreen, you know, all the bells and whistles. And before that, I had an Indian Scout Bobber, which is what I got after my first sport bike, or my last sport bike, basically. So if you guys have been around the channel for a while, you'll know the Bobber. Chieftain was never on the channel, neither was Nick's bagger or his Road Glide. And we both got back into sport bikes, and these were the poison. So definitely a big change. It's 100% different, and this is the stock version, the base model. So there are some features on here that I could get. You just got to buy the aftermarket parts for. One of which being like navigation, the other one, your phone can connect to the screen or the TFT display, so your music pops up on there if your Cardo or your Senna's connected. This bike, the base model, doesn't have it. You got to actually buy like a Bluetooth aftermarket part that goes on the bike somewhere, but it's all plug and play. I believe you can also get a 12-volt outlet down here, like a cigarette lighter style. Again, don't have that. Some of the higher models do, like the Tuono V4 factory, which is also like the race version. Speaking of that, for being a base model bike, quote unquote, this bike is, I mean, it feels just like a track bike on the road. It is more power really than you ever need. And I haven't taken it to the track. I've never actually been on the track on a bike. But I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a fun opportunity, a fun experience to do, and I know Nick and I have talked about it in the future. But for now, I'm just gonna keep street riding it and see how it goes. A little bit about the bike. If you can see the screen, I'm currently in user mode, which is fully customizable. Everything, if I was at a stop light, if this light stays red long enough, I'll show you guys, but you can change anything from wheelie control to traction control to engine braking. I mean, really fucking anything. Let me see here if I can adjust it real quick. You got to be stationary to pull up the customization, which I don't love that aspect. I wish you could change it on the fly. Some of the stuff you can. There's a little plus or minus switch here under the left handlebar that you can adjust all of your, it changes traction control. But if I go on here, you can, in user mode, you can change engine mapping, engine braking, traction control, wheelie control, launch control, and ABS. Then You've got tour mode and sport mode. Those are all preset stuff. I like to ride in user mode the most. It's customizable. Like I said, you can change stuff on the fly. Up here on the handlebar, I have it set for cruise control right now, but there's this little switch right here, and you can actually go in the settings and make it so that switch is wheelie control. You can adjust wheelie control up and down. However, if wheelie control's off, like it is right now, it's not adjustable. You can't change it from off to 1. It can only go from 1 to 3. Just a little tip there. There's fucking so much traffic. I'm currently on my way to go meet Nick, and I believe his brother, and maybe a couple other guys that ride. So obviously we'll see who's all there when we get downtown. But as far as, like I said, daily riding, it's comfortable. Ergonomics aren't great. It's not as comfortable as my FZ07 was, which was the last sport bike I had, really. But it's a totally different bike. This bike, your legs are a little bit more cramped, but you're definitely in more of a sporty position. The handlebars that are straight across, drag style bars, T-bars, whatever you want to call them, these things are fucking phenomenal. You sit really upright. Honestly, the windshield's awesome for like highway riding. It keeps all the wind off your chest, but without it, it kind of forces you to stay up, and it honestly takes a little bit of the weight off your shoulders. So I can't really complain. I know the V4 factory, the more race-oriented model, doesn't have the same set of bars. Make sure no cops saw me doing that one. The bars are a little bit lower on the V4 factory, just because it's more of a race bike. So keep that in mind if you're looking at the factory. One thing I love about this bike, and also leads into something that I don't like, I love the fact that this bike is kind of rare. It's kind of like a niche bike. Not a lot of people have it. Not a lot of people even know about them. But what that does, on top of the attention and people constantly asking you what kind of bike it is or whatever, it leads to a problem with aftermarket parts. What it also does is it forces you to buy more expensive parts because not as many people make them, which is normally good because it's all higher quality shit, but it does limit your options. I mean, I was able to find 2 fender eliminator kits. Both of them were over 200 bucks. I mean, it's not like the FZ07 where you could buy a $30 fender eliminator on Amazon from 15 different companies. It's just not how it works. The other thing I love about the bike is the raw sound. Honestly, the stock exhaust is great. I will eventually do an exhaust, but for $1,000, it can wait. And see if I can get it down into a lower gear, kind of hear it. I mean, it sounds good. It's got a growl once the valve's open. And I mean, the bike's great. It wheelies like crazy if your wheelie control is either off or on 1. Other than that, not too much. But it can wheelie. It will wheelie, and it's a lot of fun as long as you're comfortable on the bike. That being said, with all the user like aids and rider aids and ride modes and shit, this bike is still very, very easy to lose control of. And if you're not ready or you're not comfortable riding a 1000cc bike, don't get it. Especially being a naked, it's really torquey. And I mean, it's definitely got the means to get you in trouble pretty quick. But another thing with like power output, usually nakeds are super torquey, but the top end's not there. This bike's got still, it's very torquey, but it still has kind of an exponential power curve where the faster you go, the faster it gets, and you can feel it. It's like a turbo kicking in, like VTEC. You hit a certain RPMs and it's just like, oh shit. So another thing to keep in mind. I'm about to pull up on the group here, so that's probably going to be the end for this motovlog. Just kind of a quick overview about the bike. If you guys got any questions about the bike, you guys got any ideas for motovlogs or other videos you guys would like to see, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in to N&J. Please like, subscribe, and all that shit, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.